Pertti Vanhanen, you are Managing Director Europe at Cromwell Property Group. Thank you for joining us on BiTV.
My pleasure. Thank you, Luke.
Cromwell Property Group is partnering with Finnish real asset manager Dasos Capital to establish a pan-European wooden building property fund. What form will this new partnership take?
Yes, we have a 50-50 joint venture on the general partner level. So basically, we are running that fund together. So Cromwell will bring in property knowledge as we have people on the ground in 10 different European countries, and we are traditional property manager. And then Dasos, they have been very successful in the forest and timber investments, and they really know the ESG and the biodiversity and so forth. So they will bring in that knowledge. So we are combining these two knowledges and capabilities to run this fund together. So all the key decisions will be made by the board, where we are both there and equally represented. But of course, then we have a day-to-day property things what we are in Cromwell taking care. So it's a really a true joint venture.
Okay, great. And therefore, the question is, what will be the investment strategy of this new vehicle?
Well, investment strategy is really to invest into the wooden buildings, mainly into the wooden buildings. We may have in the future some other sustainable materials. We can have a 20% allocation, but wooden buildings. And we are looking for core assets, so income producing assets, but also built to core value added type of investments. Even though we are, or the fund is not going to take any material zoning risk or so forth. And our, the criteria for investments sector-wise, we are very flexible sector-wise. We can do residential, we can do elderly care, we can do office buildings, or logistic buildings, and so forth. The key point is to invest into the wooden-based material-made buildings. And then also geographic-wise, we are investing into the continental Europe, Nordics, as well as into the UK. So countries like France, Germany, Netherlands will play a big role, but also Nordics, where the wooden building industries and wooden building construction knowledge is very advanced. We are flexible, but one few things we don't compromise is the quality of the investment. So we want to make sure that we have a good locations, we have a good tenants, good tenant governance, we have a good technical qualities in those buildings we are investing in. So that's something that we don't compromise at all.
Okay, and therefore maybe more broadly, why did you decide to launch a fund specifically for wooden buildings, and what can it offer investors?
So first of all, the wood as a material is very, very environmental friendly. If you think about the pine tree growing the 50, 70 years in the forest, it's absorbing CO2. So it's absorbing kind of particles from the atmosphere. And when that is cut and put it into the new modern engineered wooden products, it's really a material that it's a flexible, it's a more it's more lightly and environmental friendly to build, and it makes less noise to the environment than traditional steel buildings, steel frame buildings, and so forth. And when the project is completed, it's much more healthier. There's a number of studies for the people who are using those buildings, whether it's a residential or whether it's an office building. It's much more healthier, and also there are studies also that wooden office buildings are generating new innovations and new ideas more than traditional buildings. So those are the kind of elements of wood, and I'm sure that our colleagues from Dasos Capital, they would be able to explain this more in details than I am. But at the same time, what we are offering for the investors, we are offering property product, property fund, and we are aiming to have a core / value added type of returns, mainly blended 6% total returns or so, and this is really stable ESG investment for the investors.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much for this insight, and thank you all for joining us. See you soon on BiTV.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here.